I'm just going to go through a quick hula hoop tutorial just to get you started with hula hoop. So first things first, let's talk about the size of the hoop. As you can see, my hoop is big. So beginners always need to start with a big hoop. A rough guide from the floor, you can see it comes up to about my belly button. So 1 is a good guide. So distance wise, from the floor to the belly button, about 1 metre. And weight wise, also 1 kg is about the biggest you need to go when you are a beginner. Okay, let's get down. So foot position, if you start with your feet together initially, take out your heels and let your feet follow. So just under your hips, and then just take 1 step forward. So you've got a split stance. I'll show you how that looks sideways on. With your hoop, you want to place your hoop in the small of your back. So where your back dips, that's where you want to place your hoop. And then we're going to use momentum. So with one hand, just give the hoop a push. It should ideally go round your body 2 to 3 times. I'll show you that again. So sideways on, big push with one hand. So count 1, 2. So at least 2 or 3 times round your body. So we're using momentum. There we go. So push. So when you're pushing, keep your belly button slightly pulled in. One hand, big push. 1, 2, 3. So nothing else is moving. Okay, so we've got momentum. We're now going to add movement. So let's add movement. So now, setup's the same as before. If you notice, I'm just shifting my weight forwards and back. I'll show you that sideways on. So hoop starts in the lower part of my back. My foot, 1 foot forward. I give the hoop a spin, and then I just start shifting my weight forwards and backwards. So the movement is quite small. I'll show you without the hoop. So this is how it looks. Imagine the hoop spinning. I'm just shifting my weight forward, back, forward, back. So I'm just rocking gently. So put those together, movement and momentum, and breathe and smile. So give that a go and let me know how you get on. Okay, so one of the questions I'm often asked when I teach hooping is, when I hoop, I start to lose the hoop. So this is how to save the hoop. So the hoop's going, I'll start to feel it slow down. You wiggle. So you bend your knees, we call it bend and scoop. So the hoop's going a little bit slower, bend, and try and get your hips under. I'll show you that sideways on. So I'm hooping, my hoop's starting to slow down, I'm going to lose it, bend, and just try and get your hips under the hoop. So give that a go, and maybe put some messages and let me know how you get on. Okay, so let's have a little bit of fun with the hoop. So I'll show you that again. So middle of the, so lower part of the back, where your back curls in. Hold the hoop level. So make your initial push really big. We sometimes say, give it some welly. So really big. So if you notice my hand, when my hand releases, I bring it across my body so I know I've given it a really big push. Left or right, right to left, it doesn't matter. Your body will decide which is its favourite direction it likes to hoop. Okay, let's start playing with the hoop. So, I've got my hoop going. I'm going to move and turn in the same direction as my hoop. So my hoop's going from my left to my right. I'm going to follow my hoop round and come back to the beginning. I'll show you that again. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to follow my hoop round and give myself a clap. Woohoo! Okay. So once you've mastered turning in the direction of the hoop, hold the hoop, and now you're going to turn in the opposite direction. So my hoop's going from my left to my right, but I'm going to turn against the hoop. So I'm going to turn and go against the hoop. This is a little bit harder, so you might need to take smaller steps. I'll show you that sideways on. So I've set up the same as before. Hold the hoop level, chin parallel to the floor, push. So my hoop's going left to right, but I'm going to turn my body and go against the hoop. Fantastic. Okay. So, I'm just going to do a quick recap, just to remind what we've gone through today. So, hoop, make sure, for beginners, you need a big hoop. So from the floor, a rough gauge, you want the hoop to come up to your belly button. This is just under 1 metre, and likewise weight, not too heavy to start with. You can get hoops like mine, which is just one tubing. You can get the hoops that you put together and a padded, and some people like those just because it gives them some cushioning. But yeah, just remember you need to go big. So in the small of your back, where your back dips, you give it a push. So big push, and try and count how many times. So nothing moves with the initial push. There we go. So push, I'll show you that sideways on. Fantastic. And it skews my back. I'll show you that from the back as well. So as you can see, it's in the small of my back. And keep the hoop level. So once you've got momentum, then we add the movement. So start with your feet together. Take your heels out, feet. Step 1 foot slightly forward, so push as before. Then you move your weight slightly forward, slightly back. So this is hooping with a split stance. So some people find, and your body will let you know, you can experiment, that they like a slightly different foot position. So I'll show you the alternative. So set up, feet together, take your heels out, then your toes. So we call this the split stance. And some people find that they find it easier to hoop. And if you notice, my weight, still smooth movement, just going side to side. So experiment whether you like to have a split stance with 1 foot forward and rocking forwards and back, or whether you like to have a split stance, feet side to side, and just shift your weight from side to side. So many options, so much fun you can have with the hoop. Okay, so for my final tip I'm going to give you today, so as I mentioned before, you will have a preferred direction of hooping. But the magic of hooping is you want to try and also hoop in the opposite direction. It will feel a bit unusual, but it is good to give it a go. So same setup, small of your back. This time using your other hand, give the hoop a push as before. And as you can see, this is definitely my weaker side, but it is a good idea to always spend time hooping in your least preferred direction. So I'm going to say bye-bye for now. Send me a message if you need any advice on what types of hoops to buy, the size of hoops, if you want courses or tutorials, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.